This is Björn Lundberg. Welcome to Threefold Talk.
Hello! Welcome, everybody. It's a weekly time of exploding with the Fandos and Threefold Talk. At least that's what was said in chat earlier. So,
Exploding Fandos.
exploding Fandos, yes.
What does that mean? Catch me up.
I want to learn how to say welcome like Bjorn Landberg.
I mean,
Welcome.
you could practice if
Well,
you come
Expandos.
to MalkieriCon this week. But yes, Skeeter has put in chat greeting foldies and expandos or explodies and fandos. So yeah, it made us chuckle when he posted that in there. So we've
I like
we need
it.
to, yeah.
I like it. Hello, friends.
Hi, Ron.
How's your
Hello.
week been?
Oh, it's been a week.
Let's
focus on
Leigh-A.
Leia's week.
yeah, Leigh-A, tell us about your week. We don't need
Tell us
to.
about your week, Leigh-A.
I should have prepped this.
I know.
So, for those of you who haven't, this is what stabby stabs are for. When you can't find where the twisty thing is.
Please don't.
Yeah, don't stab yourself.
I already broke a glass like earlier. In front of Melindhra, which is hilarious. I'm like, use the glass that you didn't just shatter. Like, okay. So for those of you who watch us regularly, know that I've been unemployed for a hot fucking minute. And not for lack of trying to get a job, but anyways, we won't get into all of that drama. But this week I got a job.
Yeah!
So it's been absolute insanity just trying to do all the last minute or, the regular stuff that normally takes 2 or 3 weeks. Like the HR team is completely confused about how to handle this, but I got a job and of course my hands are all
Twist.
Woo!
Hooray!
Cheers!
Thank you!
I spilled my wine just for you.
Thank you. Just
Celebrating
don't break
you.
your glass like I did. So I will only be using the glass once because cats. And then I might actually disappear to go put it somewhere safe. But woohoo!
It's great
Because
news.
the cats will break it or I will break it. So,
I'm so excited for you.
but that's what this glass is for. Woo! So cheers! Thank you guys. Everybody in the community has just been so amazing and supportful, and
Cheers.
always like, hey, we'll keep an eye out, and ask me how I'm doing, and so I'm doing great this week.
Yeah.
Next week when I
Yay.
actually have to work regularly, when I'm out of practice, that might be when you guys want to check in on me and see how I'm actually doing.
I got you next week.
And then she
Yeah.
replied to it being like, I'm too busy to reply. I'm working.
I'm so busy and important.
Yes.
I am. I'm so busy.
I mean-
So busy and important.
She's always been important, but now she's busy as well.
Now she's busy.
Yes.
So
Well, that'll be the theory. We'll see.
Yeah.
we'll see.
Guess
So,
the
yeah.
rest of us actually have to step up and do some of the prep for the show again.
Dude, my local wine store pulled through. This shit's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Did they recommend I Got a Job wine to you? Did they-
Yeah. Actually, they did.
That's
So.
awesome.
Skeeter, why? This is my moment. Why would you do that to me?
Skeeter, cheers in placentamon.
I'm
Well,
just
we need
imagining flailing bits of placenta, as the
Wetlanders.
arm things, flailing excitements, just chunks
my
of
God.
placenta flying.
It's because
off.
every time he
Excitement.
cheers, he would just go,
Oh, God. So gross.
Oh my gosh.
My moment. Can I just have my moment without placentamon bullshit?
No, you cannot. You have
Sorry.
chosen to be part of this show. Sorry.
It's a good thing I love you guys. Otherwise, I would just do something like.
Aww.
But I'm not going to because I love you guys and I'm really excited for this week's episode.
Should be a good week. But before we get into that, let's
News.
There's been a bit of news.
There's
Some
news.
fun
Has
news.
arrived.
Fun
It's a
news.
fun news week, so let's get into that. And Michael and Kate, take it away.
dear brothers and sisters,
It is time to cover up your face.
for the Wheel of Time has news, and we shall dance the spears with it.
This is the Daily Veil.
Yes, folks, Daily Veil time. Take it away, Leigh-A.
This is mostly a Donal week. I feel like the past several weeks have been
When
very
isn't it?
focused on
Really?
Donal. So, but surprisingly, we're not going to be talking about Young Sherlock, which came out this week. I know a lot of people have, all over the Wheel of Time fandom, have said they've started watching it, love it. Obviously, Donal is amazing. Not surprising. But he is also in another show as one of the male leads. He is in a BBC show called The Other, or he's going to be in a BBC show called The Other Bennett Sister. And he is the love interest of the least well-known Bennett sister, Mary, who you can see here on screen. Just going to play a couple of seconds, Rob, if we could pause the exciting Daily Veil music for a second. Thank you. You're an officer and a gentleman.
Who are you?
Miss Bennett.
I must be. Oh, yes, I am.
Miss Bennett is a radical.
All right, so here we go. That was him.
Just pop out.
He's in it.
Very quickly. He's in it. It seems like he's Mary's love interest. So, anyways, and he is lovely and dreamy. Mel, don't get jealous. It's just a movie. Just a movie.
Listen, the man has said my name out of his real mouth. I have reached the pinnacle of fandomness. It's fine.
Yes, he has said your real name out of his real mouth. I'll get him to say it again if I happen to see him at Leigh-A.
Oh,
Next.
that was for me. That was for
Queuing
me.
you up
That was
for the
me.
next one, which is the Oliviers.
Rob, what is the Olivier?
The Oliviers are the Tony Awards over here in the UK. They are so named after Sir Laurence Olivier. They happen every April. And I have been lucky enough to go to a few now. I hope to be able to still attend this year. But we have 4 Wheel of Time actors that have been nominated for Oliviers. As you can see here, this is a post by Rafe Judkins. We have Rosamund Pike for Best Actress in the Play for Inter Alia. Katie Braden for Best Actress in a Musical for Into the Woods. Kate Fleetwood for Best Supporting Actress in a Musical for Into the Woods. And Hamad, I'm not going to butcher his last name, Best Supporting Actor for Dealer's Choice. And I'm really happy to be able to say I've seen 3 out of those. I've seen 3 out of those 4 people perform. So I did not get to see him, but
That's
yeah.
so cool.
It's-
Congratulations to them. I love that.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, great.
I love that they didn't let the show's cancellation keep them down, and they just kept going and pushed forward and kept being their amazing selves, and people who are on the right side of the planet actually get to see them perform. Which is great. I am happy for all of you and not at all jealous every week.
Well, here's the really fun thing about this. They're all in a different category.
Yeah.
Yes,
Alright.
not competing against each other.
So they could sweep it.
They could sweep it. They're not competing against each other. All 4 of them could win. And if Rosamund doesn't win, I'm sorry. That's a fucking crime. All right? Like, seriously? That Inter Alia was incredible. Both Kate and Katie were amazing in Into the Woods. Even though I didn't like the play itself, they were great in it, as was everyone else. You know, like it was a stunning performance. And I heard great things about Hamad. So, you know, there's a possibility of a sweep here, you know?
I love that.
That would be so
That'd be
cool.
awesome.
It would be incredible.
We need some wins for the Wheel of Time family.
Yeah.
But speaking of wins for the Wheel of Time family, there was a win recently for the Wheel of Time family. Taylor Napier was part of a podcast audio drama called The Man and the Moon, and it won Best Podcast Audio Drama.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, so we finally got a winner.
Yay! Congrats, Taylor.
Ramen Rattle.
I lost my egg.
Oh yeah, Ramen Rattle.
Let's figure out where I put mine. We're doing great. We're doing great, y'all.
It's been a while since we had a reason the ramen rattle, apparently. So
Got it.
we're all like, shit,
I mean,
where
we
did our
could
ramens
ramen
go?
rattle for Leigh-A.
Yes, that's true. Ramen rattle for Leigh-A, everybody.
That's so cool. Does anyone know what the Man in the Moon is about?
I think it's about a man who lives in a place where he can see the moon.
I'm wondering if it's like a podcast based on
Like
this.
the Earth? A man who lives on the Earth?
No, because you can see the moon from many places.
Oh.
No,
And not like the Man in the Moon original, movie that came out in like the 1900s. Maybe it's a play on that. Like, I don't know.
Maybe the man is made of cheese.
Maybe,
Maybe it's about cheese.
Taylor is made of cheese. That's it. We're saying it right here. Breaking news.
You heard
Taylor
it from us
is
first.
cheese. Okay, let's put a poll. What kind of cheese would Taylor be made of?
Oh God, okay. I'm not in that section of thingy, but I can
Sorry.
get there. That's fine.
I don't understand YouTube's censoring. It censored Overseer's saying, I'm rattling for Leigh-A.
YouTube
That's
is messed
really
up. All
That
right.
rattling
So,
is so questionable.
what type of cheese? What type of
What type of
Cheese.
cheese is
Is he like a
Taylor?
stinky, like
Taylor?
Is he? Is
All right,
he
so we can
Taylor?
each pick one. We each pick one.
Is
I
he-
feel like Taylor is something showy, so Taylor's going to be brie because brie's
gonna
kind of
be
like a showy
brie.
cheese, isn't it? What else do we think then?
Gorgonzola,
Gorgonzola.
because he's gorgeous.
I'll just
It
say
didn't work as well as I was going for.
white cheddar. Just because
White cheddar. Is he strong?
White.
White cheddar.
he's got the cheddar, like an Irish white cheddar.
Yeah,
Irish white cheddar.
Irish.
Okay.
You know, he is very like when you hear him speak, he's just like your most normal man ever. And then so yeah.
Leigh-A,
it is
what type of cheese is Taylor?
something
Ready for this? It's a soft, spreadable goat cheese with persimmons and honey swirled through it that he's going to then spread on Alana. And somebody's going to
Spreadable
lick
goat
off of it.
cheese.
Goat
Spreadable
cheese bullshit.
persimmon goat cheese.
Yeah.
Spreadable.
Spreadable, lickable goat cheese.
Oh, okay. Lickable goat cheese is actually a better way to say
Lickable goat cheese.
that. Lickable goat cheese.
Yeah.
There we go.
So
Start
again,
poll.
it's a
I feel we
soft
have a winner there straight
cheese.
away. I feel like she set us up to fail.
With-
and
I think
everyone
she
else.
did. She
Persimmons and honey all through it. That's going to be spread on Alana
Wow. There's a lot
and licked
happening.
off of her body.
There is so much happening right now.
That's
I'm so glad I brought up this poll.
Yeah.
intense cheese.
And folks, if you are watching back later, or in the case of Charlie, when I eventually continue to produce this as a podcast for her to listen to, which she had to talk to me about today, Rob, you haven't done an episode in a while. I'm like, oops. Then please comment on the video below, or in the case of Charlie, hi Charlie, love you Charlie,
Hi, Charlie.
post in the Patreon channel in the Discord server and be like, Rob, Taylor would be X type of cheese.
What
So-
type of cheese is Taylor?
Yes.
What type
so-
of cheese is Holden?
What type of
No.
cheese is Holden?
It's like a squeezed
Camembert because
cheese
it's
out of a
stinky.
can.
It's stinky.
He's American cheese, not
Oh.
even a real cheese.
Oh, he's Velveeta. He's Velveeta.
He's
That's
Velveeta.
exactly
Oh
what he
my
is.
He's
god.
mouthful.
He's Velveeta.
Any
All
more
right.
news?
Was there any more news?
That's it for news.
That was it for news. Okay.
Unless, Rob, you have any other surprise news, which you sometimes do.
Please welcome
Would you-
to the recording. Me, myself, and I.
Aw.
Hey, I have news.
You have news? Okay, go for it, Miss.
I got a new mouse and I'm in love with it.
Yay!
Like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, so I don't even have to use a dongle, and it feels so squishy and soft. It's so nice.
Excellent.
Love it.
Anyway, that's my
Love
news.
it.
I'll have news next week because
Ooh.
I am leaving for the airport in 4 hours to go to Dublin. I actually got the right flights this time. For
Yay!
anyone who's not aware, which is most people because I didn't shout it around, I was supposed to go like 3 weeks ago to see Kai in a play she's doing in Dublin called Eureka
Kai
Day.
Alexander.
Yeah, Kai
For
Alexander.
those who aren't on first name basis with Wheel of Time actors.
Okay, fine.
You're so popular, Rob.
It's a Wheel of Time show. I feel if I say an actor's name, most people get it. So
Expanding threefold talk show. I mean,
this is true. This is true. Yeah, I because I was looking for a date and a day, I didn't look at the month because they're never usually the same, except if you look in February and it shows you March, because then you'll have the same date and day in March as you would in February, and I booked flights for March instead of February. And thus, I could not attend because I didn't find out until on the way home from work that night before I was flying the next morning. So I found a cheap deal for tomorrow. So I'm running off to that. I was going to have an issue of work, but that got changed on Monday, so that's fine. So next week I'll be able to bring you a review of that play and hopefully a photo of having met her or something like that. So
I'm going to ask a really dumb question. Are the Olivier Awards, is that only like London shows? Or...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's for certain theatres in the UK that are a member of the Society of London Theatre.
Okay.
But it is some theatres around the country as well as London theatres. It's not
Okay,
exclusive. It started in London, which is why it's called that, but now it has theatres outside as well.
I hear you. Okay, cool. I didn't know like if it went into Europe or just on the island, the Isle.
Just the Isle. So, all right, I'm going to end the poll.
And the poll. Wait, I didn't vote. Hold on.
The winner. Oh, you didn't vote? Too late.
I'm too late.
The winner is. It's not putting it up in chat yet, but I'm pretty sure the winner was white cheddar.
Yes.
Really?
Irish white cheddar. That's what it says in chat.
Yes. Oh, there you go. White cheddar, 36%. Brie came 29%. So I had the second.
Close. I think it
Lickable
was
goat
like
cheese
maybe
also
one
had
vote.
29%, and Gorgonzola had
Disappointed.
6%.
So disappointed.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about Taylor, not about his character. So his character may have done the goat cheese.
Yeah,
Fair.
that's a good
Okay, that's fair.
Wrapped in honey and
Fine.
persimmons.
Thanks for making me
which are,
feel better.
You know, persimmons, which are, aren't they coming out soon?
But I would say Taylor as a person is highly approachable.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. All right. Should we get into the main topic of today?
Let's do it.
All right. It's time, Explodies,
Explodies!
to talk about Expanse.
This book is starting to get very abused.
All right, fancy pants with your fancy purple book.
Hey, if you're going to show, I'm going to
Pretty.
show.
Yours is so pretty.
It is so
I
pretty.
thought, I mean,
It's intimidating.
you could also look at the inside.
Ugh.
Do we have new audio today, Robert?
We have remastered audio today.
Remastered audio.
Remastered. Fancy.
So
Yes.
Avi and Heather got together and sent me a remastered intro. And
goodness.
I did a test, and YouTube was still happy with it. Although last week they were only 50% happy with it for some bizarre reason. All the other ones have been 100% happy with it. Last week they were like, "You need to copyright share with the person who owns the song." I was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever. I don't care." You know? So this one apparently is still okay. I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. But let's play it anyway. Let's go for it.
Oh, I got chills.
That sounds
sounded so good.
Very good.
Thank you, Avi and Heather.
Oh man.
So
I have
I'm
much
goosebumps.
not gonna lie. I So I D&D sometimes here locally for one-shots with a local group, and happened to be up near where Avi lives. So I met him for lunch on Sunday. He's like, yeah, I'm a little late because I was like doing a thing for you guys. I was like, oh, what thing? He's like, I don't know if I can tell you, because if you don't know about it, it's like, we're getting a new song. We're getting a new song. We're getting a new song. So
It's very, very cool.
That's yeah. Wow. I thought the first version was great, and it's almost like I don't even know that it can be better, but somehow it was better.
Yeah.
I was just like, no, that one's great, and this one's great too.
So to celebrate that, and also celebrate Leigh getting a job today, I'm going to throw some memberships in chat. So that should be dropping in now.
And Amisa's new mouse. Don't forget Amisa's
Amisa's new mouse.
Amisa's new mouse.
These are the exciting times that I have in my house. New mouse.
New mouse. So yeah. Who's doing the recap this week?
I did it last week, so I will let someone else do it. But just a reminder, what are we saying? Expandies?
Expandies?
Expandies that rhymes with like
placenties.
Sandies that are
placenties.
No,
Hey.
I veto.
The little placenties.
No spoilers past chapter 13 and 14 in the chat, please, and no show spoilers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Proceed.
Thank you.
Next time I'm going to do it in that, AI plain voice. Hello.
Okay.
Please do not spoil past chapter 13 and 14 in the Leviathan Wakes books. Thank you very much.
I agree with Noman diaper. It sounds Expandy sounds like an adult diaper.
Yeah,
I forgot what it was. What was it?
Placenties sounds better, I think.
Ew.
Yeah, for sure. Placenties are so much better.
The Expanses.
Expanses sounds like pansies.
Throw your ideas in chat about. I still like foldies because we're expanding threefold talk, so there's still foldies.
Space and time.
We're in
they're
foldies. We're still foldies.
E-foldies.
We're still foldies. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's just.
I
fun
still
to play
remember.
with new names.
Should we get nostalgic for a hot second? Do you remember the first time that someone said that "Hey up foldies" in chat, and we were like, "Do we like
I
this?"
remember the
I don't know if we
episode
like
you guys
this.
talked about it.
Yeah, pretty sure it was
very
Skeeter
early
who
on.
said it first. Was it Skeeter who said it first?
I don't remember, but I remember
may
like you
have
guys
been Skeeter.
debating. I don't know. Well, let's put a vote to it, and we did all these things, and it was really fun to watch.
Yeah. Foldies was the one that stuck, and I remember definitely thinking like, I'm not sure I like Foldies.
But if
No, I-
Placentamon doesn't come back for the rest of the entire book, we're gonna look like we have placenta on our face about naming everybody.
Yeah, but I mean, Placentamon is here every week.
Here I come to have your day. Placentamon is on the way. Placentamon.
We're so spoiled.
Yeah, we are very spoiled.
You guys are the best.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Maybe
All right. So,
they're spicy.
chat says I think it might have been Maury. So, yeah, good choice. All right. Need a recap.
I'm sure I actually have that message saved in a spreadsheet somewhere.
Spreadsheet.
Probably is saved.
Is it a?
All right, Mel, do you want to do it or you want me to do it?
Go ahead, Leigh-A. I won't stop.
All right. So, we open up with Shed still being dead.
Oh.
'cause
Holy moly.
Whoa.
Shed is still dead.
Good placement, Leia. Good job.
I
Okay.
was wondering how I was going to sneak that in, but yeah.
I like that you did
That's
that.
from the show. So Shed is still dead, and meanwhile, yes, he's dead, but they are now open to vacuum. Air's escaping. They're starting to lose consciousness. Naomi and Amos hop to and seal the two holes in the various walls with makeshift random ass things that they just grab. Holden grabs a gun, not that type of gun, but a different type of gun. And Naomi and Amos
Because Naomi
do
told
their...
him to.
Because
Naomi
is
told him
boss.
to. And at this point, I'm just calling Amos a belter because he acts more like a belter than Arthur. So the two belters like get the shit done while the Martian and the Arthur are just like derp. Meanwhile, Holden actually gets his shit together as a leader and is like, okay, folks, let's focus. Like, puts a blanket over Shed, draws everybody's attention. Is like, Shed's dead. Because again, Shed's dead. And
we need the front shot one.
Shed is dead. So he's like,
he lost his head.
Look, yeah, he lost his head and we're fucked. So, like, what can we do to not die? And everybody starts hopping to do the things that they can do. Eventually, LT Kelly comes and is like, get the fuck back. I'm opening the door. Here's a whole bunch of suits. Oh, there's only 4 of you now. Cool, that sucks. Follow me. We have to get GTFO from the ship because we are being boarded right now. It's not cool. Everyone's like, wait, what the fuck? We're being boarded? I guess that's cool because we're not getting shot at by other ships, but whatever. They start to evacuate to doors where, and again, I'm gonna go crazy. I have a whole bunch of notes about all the damage control because I was the damage control officer on my ship, so I was like freaking the fuck out about this. Managed to open the doors. One of the Martian Marines gets exploded. They manage to escape down. Another Martian Marine stays behind to cover the evacuation. And then another Martian Marine goes and posts up because the invaders are in the hangar bay where they're trying to escape to.
Smart. So smart.
Yeah, so one Martian Marine's like, I'm gonna go look like a small platoon. Hey, LT, you calling me small, making like popping jokes. So LT, Kelly, and the crew of the night at this point are preparing to launch themselves to this light corvette. And it seems to be going well. The guy who's looking like a small platoon gets exploded. And then at the end of the chapter, LT Kelly explodes.
Hi, Kelly.
Yeah, was not on Mel's airlock.
In my defense, I was considering offing him last week.
I don't remember you voicing that, though.
I did not voice it because I was in too celebratory of a mood. But it was like, I was like, when I was mulling over who, I was like, all these Marines
last
and lieutenants.
Week it was Lieutenant Lopez, though, not Lieutenant Kelly.
No,
so
Kelly was in it last week, too.
But not the interviewer.
But it's like all these people that we barely meet, that we meet for like 5 seconds, get names. I was like, I feel like these guys are gonna die. But I didn't say it because we were in celebrating Shed's demise mode. So don't give me credit, but I just want to voice it that I thought about it.
Can I continue my recap before we actually start discussing?
Wow.
These chapters are so exciting! Okay, go.
There's so much going on.
We move over to Miller's chapter. Miller has a new partner. So, and I actually didn't write her name down, so I don't
Olivia
remember.
Munn.
Yes.
Yeah, Olivia Munn.
So, but he starts describing the events of like what is actually leading to this apparent war between the Belt and the Mars. So Mars has attacked a civilian crew that, for legitimate reasons, according to the Belters, was running dark. Mars exploded them, and in return, shit has hit the fan. And Miller's most recent active investigation was of a guy who'd been tortured and beaten to death, basically almost got flayed alive, and was staple gunned essentially to a wall, completely unidentifiable. His new partners. Vampire. Yeah, his new partner's kind of a little like, she's seen this shit before, a little kind of, you know, she's got that emotional armor on.
I had that name completely wrong. Sorry, go on.
I was just looking at that. I'm like,
Octavia must. Go on.
Octavia.
So I didn't even try. So meanwhile, yeah, so they're having their short belter back and forth when they say something, but they mean something else. Meanwhile, Miller goes into Captain Shadid, still on the airlock list, has not yet died, and is like, hey, I kind of have a request for you. I kind of want those transcripts for the Mars interrogation of that Holden dude. And Shadid is just like, are you out of your ever loving fucking mind? Long story short, she tells him no, get back to your job. It doesn't, like, they walk away both having like neither one of them won. That Miller and whatever the fuck her name is, his new partner, finishes their cases for the day. Thank you. And he goes back to his hole where our pock-faced man, Anderson Dawes, is. I do know that name. And Anderson Dawes. Miller realizes, like, hey, I actually cleaned up my shit for a reason because I was expecting this. Dawes actually has all that information that Miller had requested to a very satisfactory degree. They do a back and forth based off of the conversation that Miller had just had with Shadid. He kind of concedes to Dawes, like, hey, yeah, I'll stop the investigation. Dawes leaves and Miller's like, yeah, good dude. Feel bad about lying him. Starts typing daddy. End scene.
Oh, man. There,
sorry,
you know,
did you say starts typing daddy?
Yes, he does.
Starts typing to daddy. He starts writing his email to
right.
daddy.
Sorry, I was
It'd be funny if he called him daddy. But that...
I mean, it wasn't an email, it was a video. But yes.
Well, but you know. I was putting it in our terms.
Yeah.
Yes.
While that was going
100%
on,
accurate.
I polled if we like belter foldies, and that won overwhelmingly. But then someone suggested belter folders. So
belter folders.
I think we just pronounce it foldas, but it's still spelled foldies because we have accents in the belt.
Yes.
Yeah, belter folder.
Well, I repolled foldies versus folders, and folders won 3-1 in a ratio.
So that poll's still open. I can just write. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can make it stronger now. Yeah, it's even. There we go.
There we go.
4-1. Yes.
I helped.
So you are now all belter folders. Just carrying on from there. So.
Oh, do we think he's Zaddy now?
Do we think Zaddy? Ooh, we don't know enough about. He does have a very cool name.
I mean, Julie seems pretty much like pissed off at him at all times. I'm not sure he's a zaddy at this point. Seems like an asshole to her, at least.
We'll see. We don't know yet. We
haven't really seen him yet, so we don't
know. We don't know.
I don't even know if
we got like second, third hand information.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are so many things to talk about in these chapters.
So much going on. Also, really hard to kill people off this thing when everybody dies. Everybody dies except for our main characters.
Yeah, like so many people died in this chapter. It's ridiculous.
So many people died.
Just in chapter 13, there are. Well, Shed's already dead, and then you kill 4 Marines essentially, and then assuming a lot of the 4 Marines plus at least 4 of the invaders that we see on
orders.
Yeah,
but also probably the Marines that are guarding the engineering and the bridge.
I mean, they're gonna explode the ship.
They're gonna explode the ship. That's crazy.
I mean,
are they command and control?
They're gonna they're gonna
the
explode
commanders
the
are
130-foot long business tower. They're gonna 2 towers that shit.
They are.
R.I.P. Dookie.
Yeah, Dookie. I saw that name, Dookie.
We got a poll running, by the way, if you wanted that comment to make sense, which is he Daddy Mao, Zaddy Mao, or Meh Mao? And apparently he is quite strongly Meh Mao.
I have not. I'm reserving judgment.
Reserving judgment, fair enough. It's I don't know. It's a pretty. They must be carrying some pretty important shit if they're like you get boarded and you're losing.
They have all the stuff.
The answer is to blow up. I mean, this feels very Janeway like. Just like, I mean, I feel like Janeway sets on the self-destruct mode in Voyager like every other week. You know, I think she's like, it's a Tuesday and there's not enough energy for a coffee. Set ship to red alert. So.
Just keep talking about these Star Trek references. It's fine.
Yeah. So,
I get it. Rob, I get it.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just red alert. It's set the auto destruct sequence too. It's like and it's without the chompers from Galaxy Quest this time. But except it's kind of with the chompers from Galaxy Quest because they have to do the chomper.
It is with chompers from Galaxy Quest.
It's with chompers, except the chompers are people attacking them.
Yeah.
Do we
this is so
still
true.
not? We still don't know who it is. We still don't know who is going after.
That's one of my questions. Do you think it's still the Belters? Rob.
Do I think it's still the Belters?
Yeah. You've been riding this train for a few weeks now. So after this attack, I mean,
well,
it's still the
I don't
Belters.
think I ever said it was the Belters. I think I said it was the evil
I'm
OPA.
pretty sure you said the 6 ships were Belter ships, which
sure
is
did.
the evil corporation, right?
Yeah.
Palpatine are the Belters, right?
Yeah, but that's like saying, like, you know, if you want to refer to World War II, but like it was the Germans. No, it was the Nazis. There's a difference. You know, it's not the Belters is a generic term. It's the evil OPA people.
Okay.
So I'm
They're
still
still
down for
Belter
that.
ships run by the evil corporation.
So
right?
I feel like Amos like betrayed your theory here because he says belt ships with rail guns. Did they get a fucking navy and no one told me?
Yeah.
Like Amos is telling us that like this is not what we assumed.
No, this is a false trail. Okay.
So the prediction was Mel thinks it's not the Martians, that the stealth ships are OPA. Rob thinks it's a double bluff, OPA blaming Mars. I had to go back 2 pages for that.
That's
3
a lot of
pages.
pages. I forgot that's what I said.
That's why I take copious notes.
But I think Amos for sure is telling us that this is not who we thought they were with that line.
No,
They're at least not regular. They're not regular Belters, at least.
Right.
The everyday Belters everyone knows and loves.
Yeah, and also Holden sees their uniforms when they're there checking out the night, and he doesn't recognize what they're wearing at all, like the matte black uniform situation. He'd never seen that before.
Black
and
armor.
Yeah.
0G maneuvering packs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
They,
But no, I think
they're like ninjas or something. It's really weird.
I mean, they're very impressive, these Marines.
And
I
it's
think
weird that
Julie with her
nobody knows who they
jujitsu
are.
can take one of them with they're both wearing 0G maneuvering packs.
Ooh.
That's a tough call.
But we've discussed jujitsu.
We have discussed that, yeah.
It wouldn't work. You just stand up.
She would need mag boots to like clamp her down.
I know.
Like
Yeah,
everybody
but
else
you could just
does.
turn them off.
You could turn them
But
off.
it wouldn't work
Well, you
anymore.
can click them to turn them off.
Yeah, they got the
very
little
quickly.
click,
That's what I'm
click, you know.
saying.
They're fucking ruby red slippers, aren't they? Click the
And
heels
then
to
you're
go
like,
home.
I'm just gonna float. I'm just gonna float out of this hold, guys. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just
So,
stand up. Jujitsu.
I think Amos's comment is meant to mislead the reader and to reinforce it has to be Navy then, because did they go and get themselves a Navy? The evil OPA will have gotten access to these weapons. So that's what I'm saying. Because then, because now you've got like the belt ship being blown up, and now you've got retaliation because the Martian Navy ship has been degaused. So,
Do you still think it's a double bluff?
the what?
That they think that somebody's making it look like the OPA, but it's a double bluff. You said it was the Martians. So do you still think it's the Martians attacking the Martians now?
I don't remember saying it was the Martians in those 6 little ships.
This is why Leigh took notes.
My desk is too
Oh,
small.
the double. Sorry. Mel thought it was. Mel thinks it wasn't the Martians, that the OPA were the stealth ship. Rob thinks it's a double bluff. OPA blaming Martians.
Because they're like Mars ships. So they're bluffing. It's really the OPA, the Palpatine OPA Belters.
Yes.
Oh, hi.
The cat just jumped up and joined me. Yes. Wow, I can't remember the last time he joined me like this.
Okay.
And he's gone. Sorry.
Yeah. Do we want to go back to the beginning? Vicini? No.
Yeah.
We're done
Let's
with
go back
the-
to chart.
We're not. You don't want to talk about what happened to the holes in the walls or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I want to talk about that. That's what I meant. Sorry, I thought you meant go back to the beginning of the book. So I was like,
No.
Beginning of the
Beginning of the chapter.
beginning of the chapter. I would like to yet again acknowledge that Naomi and Amos in this situation are badasses, and Holden is a fucking mess. He's a mess. He's a mess. He was all caught up in his emotions while they were in mortal peril.
While Shed was just sort of chilling and hanging out.
I guess he did do his commander thing by saying, volunteer to do something useful, everybody. And they did. And he was like, good, do the useful thing that you said. And I'm going to cover this body with a sheet and tell it I'm sorry. And that's what he did.
Well, how else are you going to make him feel better? You know, like, you got to make him feel better. So, you know.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Look at the cute little monkey peeking his little head out of what Holden's carrying.
Wow.
As the book says, blood pouring out in a floating red sphere.
Shed is mopping up his own. I mean, I feel like Shed is getting way too much credit in that picture. He's mopping up his own blood as his head is exploding. Like, that is the most action he's done in the entire book.
We should put that back up one more time.
We'll put it back up.
I want to look at it really quick. That's funny. We had to give him something to do.
Oh, poor
He doesn't even get a burial. He's just abandoned on the ship when they haven't left yet, but we presume they're going to leave.
He's buried at space.
Buried in space,
He will be blown up with everyone else on the ship.
He will be blown up with everybody else. It's a communal burial.
He'll be a star for a couple of seconds, you know. So.
Great job,
Thank you, Spuds.
Yes, love you, Spuds.
Oh
I'm so disturbed by it. Like, I'm grateful for it, but I'm also disturbed at the same time.
Oh
Shed is mopping up Holden's mess.
Oh my God, that's so true.
That's so true. Love
That's
it.
so true.
But yeah,
that's gonna be bad.
the quick reactions by Amos and Naomi here, like, are pretty stellar. They get two things that they, have a flat surface they can put against the hole, and then they're like, throw us the glue gun, ignore the patches. They seal it up.
We already got patches.
Yeah, they just grab. Yep, like a
yeah,
lunch
that's
tray
like
and a binder.
seal around those patches. That's
yep.
Yeah,
so.
And a binder that was ironically a emergency
binder.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. That's pretty clever. That was clever. That was a clever little ad.
Like, well, you could figure out how the Martian Navy works, but
we glued it.
It's glued to the wall.
I mean, you've only glued the back panel to the ball. Like, maybe
they would have glued the whole thing. I'm imagining that the whole thing just ends up sealed. Like, I can imagine that glue is.
I'm just thinking a ring binder that has, as that big spine, big plastic spine.
Binders like that are at least this big.
Yeah. So
at least this big. Yeah. So I can imagine, but then pages are knocked down, and you're just like, I can't use that anymore.
So crazy.
Also, you probably don't want to fuck with a patch.
Yeah, and Heather has a really great
and then they make an airlock. They come and they make an airlock outside of the room, which I think is just like, that's very respectful to make sure that they survive when they open the door. They make an airlock outside the room out of plastic sheeting before they can give them the suits.
I think it's pretty impressive how ingenious people have to be in space.
Yeah.
For shit that goes wrong.
It's very Apollo 13, the whole situation.
Yeah.
Heather asks, do you think the patch kit could have worked on Shed's head? Seems like a missed opportunity instead of a blanket. What do we think about that? I definitely think it's a brilliant idea, Heather. So thank you.
I think Shed's head is gone.
It's just like seeping through the blanket at this point.
I mean, dude has already expelled a lot of blood that is now floating around that room.
They didn't need to worry about his anything really about his bodies.
Yeah, this is true. I feel like
throwing the blanket over it mostly contains the blood droplets that are
Yes.
floating in the air, so you're less likely to inhale them. So Holden actually did something useful.
We established this
as well
last
as
week that shed is now a part of all of them.
Oh, 100%. I'm pretty sure there are still droplets in the air. But
everyone has inhaled shed at this point.
Droplets is now a word.
Shed's coming.
Yes.
They're like 1,000% shed at this point. Each of them.
I like. Was it who was messing around with the intercom? Was it Alex?
It was Amos.
Amos. Yeah. Did he get electrocuted, and then that's why he kicked off across the wall?
It kind of seemed like that to me as well. I was a little confused.
Yeah.
I was like, did he get zapped, or was he just surprised by?
I think he got zapped, but then it came on.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Because they kind of used the same language.
Because that very much felt like when my grandfather was like messing around on the ceiling at his house with a screwdriver and being like, "I know there's a live wire up here somewhere." Ends up across the room. So
of course we're in a Holden POV, and Holden is like, "Oh, my arm," as I like try and stop Amos from dying.
I mean,
again.
He's 120 kilos apparently. That's was a little shed in all of us. Oh my god. 120 kilos.
I converted. So for those of us who don't talk kilos, that's 265 pounds.
265.
65 pounds.
Yeah, but in
Amos.
Oh, Amos.
No, but it's the difference in the speed.
It's still the force. It's still the
Yeah.
force and the impact. So he still
hurt
has
his
mass
arm
behind
though. It hurt Holden's arm.
There's going to be a lot of speed difference between a stationary Holden and a moving Amos. Like
But it
that's
hurt
going to
his
have a lot of
arm.
force.
momentum.
I'm sorry, that's a valid comment. I'm sorry, not from Holden, not from you, Mel. So I'm sorry. I love you, Mel, but that's valid from Holden there.
I was distracted by Rapunzel. Sorry. I don't even know what we're talking about right now.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Full credit to these Marines. All right. Anything
Charlie,
else about the room?
For Charlie, what we're laughing at is Rapunzel said it was about the shed we inhaled along the way.
Yeah.
So
I love how we
much
do special moments for Charlie now. Just write things to Charlie, so Charlie,
I love that.
And anyone else who is listening.
And everyone else who's listening. We know it's only Charlie.
Listens to the podcast
Yes.
is named Charlie.
Yes, if you only listen, you are a Charlie. This was started from another podcast series, like
just like we're in, war. With certain people. We call them Charlie.
Man.
Except they're our friends, not our enemies.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're just like getting
Redskins.
tailed. Why do you think? I guess I'm curious why the Martians felt like they had to save them. Like, of all the people that you needed to save on that ship, all of your friends, all of your colleagues, all of your fellow Marines who, the Martian Navy's hardcore, right? All these people are prepared to go down with the ship, not just the captain. Like, everyone is like, nope, go down with the ship. And they're like trained that into it. And all of these people are willing to throw down their lives for these 4 yahoos that they picked up out of space like 5 minutes ago.
Five yahoos, but now 4.
Now
I mean,
4.
4
That
yahoos.
is a very good question, Mel. Why do you and Rob think that they are trying to save them?
because the Martians need to prove their innocence, and how else you do that without the witnesses?
Do you think they would kill everyone just to prove their innocence?
No. The Martians,
They have to
the Navy, the Martian Navy,
Yes.
The
are
Navy
trying
has
to save everyone.
them.
They're trying to save Holden and Amos and.
But they
and
don't
that
seem to be
lot.
trying to save anyone else on the ship that we know of.
I mean, they might be,
I
but
assume
they
that they are, but
you
it
can't-
seems like they're not.
if you go with my crazy theory, the Martians are innocent from blowing up the cans. All right, they are trying to prove their innocence, so you can't do that without your witnesses, or it's going to be harder without your witnesses, isn't it?
I guess from my perspective, it seems like whomever is attacking them is interested in starting the war, and all the other things are happening that are starting the war, and clearly the ship would know about all the other things that are happening that are starting the war, like Mars blowing up other ships and that sort of stuff that are flying black and all of that stuff. Like at this point, what I don't understand is why the Martians would care. You know, it's like the war's already started. They're already getting blamed for it. They're not going to get out of it. You know, like, why does saving them matter? But clearly it does. I mean, I feel like this is a Raffo situation, but I thought it was an interesting choice that they decided to rescue them, as opposed to they could have just had to figure out how to rescue themselves, right?
Well, I think
I have full confidence in Naomi that she would have figured that out for all of them. But like, but that's what I mean. It was interesting to me that they clearly had orders to save their asses and get them off the ship.
And maybe because they're civvies and not, you know, they're not part of the Martian Navy. Like, and Leigh-A can probably speak to this best, but if the ship is going down, they're probably maybe all just like, they're all going to go down with it because that's their jobs, right? Like, and so maybe they're like, civvies are on here, we got to get them out because this is not their, this isn't their role. You know, they could try to get them out as much as they can. It could be one of the reasons. I don't know.
Could be.
I don't know what the rules are in warfare. Like, do you try to get the non-military people off the boat if you can?
I mean,
ideally, you try to evacuate as many people as possible.
Everyone. Right?
And well, but our military, like our ships these days, but like we have an entire set of people that go through and actively just like in the CIC, the Command and Information Center, like their entire job, and there's a couple of other spaces where you're actively destroying equipment and you don't leave your station. So you might be filling up with water, but you're there until you finish your job, and you don't leave until you finish that job destroying that equipment. And the whole exploding the ship at this point, the self-destruct, seems like a larger version. Like it's not quite so isolated into these couple compartments like we have these days. It seems like the whole ship is interesting technology that they probably don't want it like, and Alex is like, this is standard operating procedure, where Lieutenant Kelly is like, those are my friends. And and Alex is like, dude, I'm like, I get it. Like, I was Martian Navy, I understand. Like, that's what I know. That's the procedure. And I'm guessing Holden doesn't say it, but I'm guessing the Earthers have very similar procedures, which again is very different than what we do these days. If a ship is boarded or going down. Also, we don't board ships that way. We just blow them up. So like, there's no, it's been since sailing times where we actively board each other's ships. So they're either going down or they're not.
Yeah.
But that being said, Amis, to your point, yes, you would attempt to get the civilians off the ship in current time. So if for whatever reason a ship was being in current modern floating navies, not space navies, you would attempt to evacuate the civilians or whomever's on board. If you're not actively working on those destroying part of your job, and then there's other nuanced things that happen throughout the ship. But anyways, that is a long tangent. We can get back to the book.
No, it's interesting. I think they just keep re-emphasizing how much the Martians are their military is their society. It seems like it's like one and the same to them, you know?
I mean,
Rob, what do you think?
About why are they saving the civilians? Like I said, it's hard to prove your innocence with your witness.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We talked so long, I forgot you said that.
That's fine. Like, it makes you look even worse if you're like, yeah, we got those guys, and then then the ship got blown up. We blew the ship up because we got attacked.
Yeah,
by
if he would have died on the Monitor.
Teeny tiny ships that shouldn't have been able to take out this ship. Like, it just all looks a bit suspect, doesn't it?
That makes sense, because they would probably look pretty terrible if their large, giant warship killed the people that accused them of starting a war. So.
Yeah. But they all died too, so that's
I don't know.
It doesn't. I guess it's hard. It's hard for me to wrap my head around that the Martians would think they would look guilty if their whole ship got blown up by other people. You know,
by six ships that should not be able to even come close to it, let alone destroy it.
Sure, yeah.
This is like a dinghy taking out a aircraft carrier.
Yes,
you know,
no,
6 dinghies in an aircraft
I agree,
carrier. Like,
but
yeah.
I think it would be. I think it would be easier it would be harder to argue that Mars was doing something nefarious when they blew up a whole, flagship ship of their own.
Yeah, the aircraft carrier essentially.
Yeah.
If we were going to equate something, yeah.
Yeah, like you wouldn't scuttle your own aircraft carrier unless you absolutely have to, right?
Yeah, and then what will happen if they get off the ship? We're assuming they will. They get off the ship in this, what is it, Corvette, which is not the Knight, right? It's a different.
It's a Corvette, yeah.
Because it's got the drive.
But I don't understand. I mean, how do they even get out? How do they get out? Because the guy with the keys
just blew up.
Turned
into Naomi solves everything, Mel. Everything.
I mean,
we'll find out next week. You know.
In Naomi we trust. In Naomi we trust. But seems like especially with how hard it was for them to even get anything off of a non-Martian ship, trying to get any information out of the Scapulus, and
Scapuli.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably.
I just feel like it would be really difficult for them to, in the short amount of time that is remaining to them before they also get blown to bits.
Yeah, this all seems to be happening within about a half an hour of them getting on board.
So fast. I feel like things are not looking good. That's all. They're not looking good.
Yeah, I get it. I think my, making it so you've got your aircraft carrier, you've got 6 dinghies attacking it, all right, and somehow those 6 dinghies are just taking it down, absolutely kind of kicking its ass, putting holes in it, all sorts of shit, and then your only response is
to argue with the dinghy classification. Could we go with speedboats? Because I feel like they're a step above. They're clearly maneuverable. They're clearly intercepted the ships. Speedboats with apparently Gatling guns on top of them. They're just they're armored speedboats at this point.
Torpedoes and Gatling guns.
Yeah,
I get that. Right, but previous chapters, they've been these are 6 ships that everyone's they shouldn't even be able to get close. Let alone take down this ship. My point is they're 6 teeny tiny little ships that shouldn't be able to even put a smear on the windshield type thing.
How did the Onager gun miss them?
They got inside the defense.
How did they miss them from?
So these are 16 tiny ships that shouldn't make any difference whatsoever to the dog. It should absolutely just be a cakewalk. They wouldn't even notice they've had to destroy.
I think this is quite a learning experience for the Martian Navy that maybe they should have paid attention to those 6 ships 2 hours. They were they're coming at us. They didn't seem to, in the last couple chapters, really seem to care that much because they overestimated that they're just 6 little ships. So I think that's going to be a big wake-up call for, everybody, but Mars.
Yeah, they didn't have an Ade. They didn't have a Naomi. They don't have people like that on there. They don't have good, high-quality belters on the Martian.
They don't have an Amos
to catch the things that are sus.
It's a ship full of sheds, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure the Martian Navy
at least Holden.
Are pretty good.
Holden's and Alex's, yeah.
That was a really
who also
crazy
did nothing
chapter,
when
though.
Shed exploded. So
just big picture, that was crazy to read, and my heart was pounding, and I was just what the hell?
Yeah, I was gonna say, were you stressed out when
you
finally came in and said we have less than 10 minutes to get you off the ship? We have no idea where they are and where the hangar is.
130 floors.
Yes, who knows how far that walk is? 10 minutes. Goodbye.
Yeah. That was
crazy.
Just
float down the elevator shaft, apparently. So
Apparently, conveniently, that shaft was connected to the cargo bay. Yeah.
So, what did you think about the description of the Martian marine power armor that they were wearing when they opened the door to get them out? What visual ideas do you have in your head for what that might look like? Like, what is power armor to you? What did was it Amos or Holden that said something like, "There's so many bullets or in there that they can take
armaments
out."
to take down a small city, basically.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I
that's
mean-
on their body. Like, so what are you envisioning?
And they're ripping open doors.
They're just using their hands
that
I
are
honestly
sealed.
didn't really give it much thought, if I'm honest. I was just like, oh, okay,
Okay.
they're wearing lots of weapons and some armor.
You just
Like, I
haven't seen
kinda-
it yet. It's pretty cool. That's all.
Yeah, I just
Mars
kind
has
of like.
cool shit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember it. I remember it from the show, and I feel like it was like I was like, why are they all dressed up like Master Chief? like I was like,
I mean,
damn.
that's kind of fitting, isn't it? You know, it's like zero G, no atmosphere, sort of like vibes. You know, Master Chief is a fairly strong character in and of itself, so yeah, that kind of fits. I see why they went that vibe.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I just kind of like just didn't think about it. I was just like, I'm just rolling with it right now because
Yeah.
There was
There was
so
a lot
much going
going
on.
on.
yeah, it's a busy chapter, and I was like, what they're wearing was not. It's not made by Sharon. I kind of wasn't interested.
Can you visualize like all
It was
the? Go ahead, Leigh-A.
Yeah, to get on, like, you're learning about like pressurizations, and like I said, like I was fascinated by the damage control. So you've got this plastic thing set up, and then the doors are like slamming closed as you're changing the pressurization, and then like also you're just like, fuck, 10 minutes. Like, we got 10 minutes to
Right,
get there.
yeah.
Like, why are we?
Yeah.
We got to escape. Holy shit!
I thought it was.
And Shed's still dead. So
Yeah, Shed is still dead. I thought it more impressive the way that like the Marine unloads his clip, kneels down, and in the process like changes his clip in like a second and a half to then continue unloading. Like that was what your detail I was more interested in than like they're really bulky suits with loads of weapons. I'm like, cool, like, you know,
Yeah.
this guy's really skilled though. That's actually, you know, that's something I'm interested
So
in.
fast.
which is that
Yeah.
even without armor on, without gloves or something that you need to protect yourself from a 0G environment, that is a difficult feat to do. Something like drop the mag, switch it up within 2 seconds, like that, like
And go to from a
that-
standing to a kneeling
that is
position as
fucking
well.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So not just like dropping and doing multiple motions. That is
Yeah.
very quick.
that gave me more admiration for the skill of the Martian Navy than the fact they turned up in master suit. You know.
Yeah. It also tells us that they sent their best. Like they didn't send
That's true.
like they didn't send like the random plebes.
They didn't-
to
they
go
didn't send their
rescue
ships.
The civvies. They sent their best team.
They sent the Naomis. They did not send their Sheds. So you know.
Right.
Was the writing for you, because I've read it before and seen the show, was the writing like there's so much going on? Was it clear enough for you to get like a visual picture in your head? Because you've got the ripping open the,
Mhm.
where they're at.
Yeah.
Then they've got their running and then people are blowing up and you got people shooting at them. Do you feel the writing was clear enough to give you like a good visualization of how that close quarter combat was happening
Yes.
all the way till they're in the
Yeah.
hangar?
Yeah.
I think yes, but I also have the benefit of watching a shit ton of Star Trek. You know, so like, watching them have battles in ship
It's true.
hallways all the time. So I've seen so many versions of those kinds of fights. So it makes it really easy for me to like imagine
All right.
them too.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what it actually made me kind of think of the most is that new Alien show that I didn't know was an alien show, even though
Earth.
it's called like literally Alien Earth, but I didn't realize it was alien. And then they're literally running around and chasing the alien, and they're in these suits and like going up and down these corridors and jumping down things because the ship has crashed through the building. Like for some reason it was giving me visuals more connected
Nice.
to that than
Ah.
I still need to see that.
But yeah,
So
I
good.
stopped watching it because I was like, oh, this is scary.
Yeah, it is scary. That's
It
why
took
I'm
me a
scared
minute
to
to
watch
realize
it.
that it was a scary show and not like an interesting sci-fi show. But
I think it's
mean,
probably both. But
it's probably it is
Yeah,
probably both.
it's
But I
both.
have a very very small.
but
scary
yes, but it
tolerance.
is it's suspenseful. It's scary. Yes.
Yeah.
So when can I just ask? So how about Alex? Alex like stepped up a little bit with his knowledge of Mars and Martian Navy. Did you guys feel anything different about his character, or do you care about him at all anymore? Or we haven't really focused on Alex at all. It's just that he's the pilot.
Like,
he's got a twang.
I feel like it was at least for me. It kind of came a little bit off. It was like, Alex, you don't have to like fill in all the details for everybody. It's kind of obvious what's going on. Like, Alex, stop mansplaining everybody what's going on, and even like the Martians were like, shut up.
Yeah,
it's just like, we gotta focus here, Alex. But Alex can't keep his mouth shut. So like that was, I don't know. I thought it was kind of unnecessary that he gave that extra stuff.
I think he's just trying to prove his worth and his knowledge, and that he does have some knowledge of what's happening.
I don't know. But it's like, I don't think at that point that anybody cares about anybody like Holden and Naomi and Amos. Like, he doesn't have to prove himself to them. He just has to survive. Like, they just all need to survive.
Do you think it was like nervous talking? Like, he was just like, I have an answer to this while we're running, and like, I can maybe help explain it. Also, I would accept that. Also, it's a little narrative. Like,
I mean, yes, it's exposition-y, but I feel like the actual action of the chapter told us that information also.
Maybe he was just trying to press the Martians just in case he wanted to go back to the Navy.
Oh, maybe he was trying to make himself like I could see the case where Alex was trying to make himself useful to the Martians.
Yeah.
As like a survival thing, like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, guys.
Yeah, put me on your team.
I would be useful to you. So
I'm Team Martian.
Team Martian.
I'm a Martian. Remember, I'm a Martian. Save me first. Save me first.
Maybe. I don't know. I just thought it was like, I was like, shut up, Alex. Let's get back to the action.
No, it felt like nervous chatter to me. Nervous for his team, for his crewmates, not for the situation. Like, I don't know how much action he's seen, but he's at least had the training and he's got the experience of working. But he's, probably just nervous for his crewmates in the situation they're in. It just felt like he was a bit nervous talking.
I mean, I get the sense that he's clearly a very capable pilot, right? So, and I don't necessarily expect people to be like experts at all the things, right? And he gives me like software guy vibes. Alex does, a little bit, and like he knows how to work the technology, right?
I like what Skeeter says. There are certain people that communicate using few words. Alex is not one of those people.
Yeah.
Maybe that's all we're learning, is that when it comes to this kind of pressure, he's just going to continue to talk. And maybe that's why Holden's annoyed with him. Maybe there's been other experiences on the camp that Alex never shut up. And so maybe that's why Holden's like, I don't want to hear his voice anymore.
I'm sure that wasn't there. Oh my God, wasn't there a section where when they were heading down to the Scappy where it was just like, I'd take another pilot most days, but we'll have him because he's the best today, sort of thing, because he just talks too much. I'm sure that was what said. So it is just he's a chatty Cathy. He's a chatty Cathy, yeah. So
even in mortal peril, he can't stop talking.
He's true to who he is, I suppose.
Yeah, but he gives me like nerdy software. Like, he knows how to fly the ship. He knows how to do that in the sense of the modern the space version of that, which is punching the right buttons at the right time. It seems like he's got that skill. He's got a skill, as opposed to I'm still waiting for Holden's skill to show up.
He has a skill. That is just being
TOEFL. He covered Shud's body.
He's skilled at TOEFLness,
Okay.
He knows how to send a global message. We know that.
He's good. Yeah, he's good at the
he knows how to
reply
go on
all. I can press reply all.
He's good with the email blast. All right, so
Well, before we go to Miller, what did you think of those last few moments of? Did you like when I reread this? It was just so fun because I was like, well, we're just gonna fly to it. Okay. Turn your mag boots off. We're just gonna go for it. Like, how did you feel about that?
I mean, you're in 0G. How else are you gonna get there? So to kind of
I mean, you could walk all the way there, like normal, but
the ship.
Because it's not as safe to just jump to it. Like he said, you can't miss.
That's faster. Jumping is faster in 0G.
Right, but how did you feel about that? Like, were you stressed? Do you think they're gonna make it to this ship at least that they're going to?
I didn't worry. I was more concerned for LT, if I'm honest. Actually, I kind of felt bad for the guy. You know, I was like, well, goddamn, like he's got this amazing team that are being taken out by either
I feel really bad.
overly powered, armored up team on the other side, you know, or just equally skilled, or both. And I mean, the guy he sent in was like shooting from multiple places so quickly. It was like there were 3 people, 4 people, you know, defending that entrance
small
area.
platoon.
Exactly, like a small platoon, you know,
using that Mars armor, making
and then that guy just got
instead of one
wiped out, and then LT, it felt like he just got hit with a fucking Stinger missile or something, you know, like the guy just got like taken out mid stride, and I was like,
no shot.
Do you think they're gonna make it to a ship, or are they gonna get captured by the boarders?
Or
some other option.
Oh, okay.
Are we in prediction territory?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. Like, what did you?
I feel like it's just put me in
And
prediction.
Holden was starting to think they might make it when a line of smoke crossed the room and intersected with Kelly, and the lieutenant disappeared in a flash of light.
Yeah, that's pretty like final.
They're only halfway there.
I know, and Gomez before that, Gomez and the crate disappeared inside her. I just like poof.
Like
they
disappears.
There was no
the other
blood
guy,
splatter like Frechette. It was just
the first guy disintegrated in like
even
pieces
go
of plastic
out
and metal and
like
blood, you know,
useful.
like it was
All these people dying.
do they
get
make
these
it
people
to
off
the
ship.
teeny tiny ship? Why do I
The Corvette.
let me just relook at that chat. Is Holden in there when this happens?
Is what?
Is Holden
light Corvette.
Holden's
Holden-
taking up the
Corvette.
rear. Holden's coming last. If that's
They've all
Sorry, it's a
kicked off.
Corvette, which is a
Okay.
light frigate. It's a Corvette, which is a light frigate.
Right.
charts.
Which actually,
charts.
there are actually like nautical, like there are specific definitions.
I
about
need a
ships like
frigate
that,
versus
so-
a light frigate, Leia. Chart. Frigate versus light frigate.
Oh god, no!
Gosh.
Actually, I've tried to look. My
I know
nephew
what a
has gone
frigate
on
is
like a
because I
weird
played a
military.
lot of ship, like sailing ship games from
Yeah,
like
my nephew has
like,
gone on a weird deep
past.
dive on like military ships, so I've actually like
Called-
had these conversations very recently with him, ironically, about like frigate versus corvette versus destroyer versus battleship. So
Maybe
like
he
the
should make the
definitions of
chart.
these and-
yeah. Can your nephew make us some charts?
Yes, you should. You should delegate that chart. To him.
Delegate.
Actually, I might ask him to make a chart and just see what he comes up with, and I will
Charts.
I will ask. I will ask. Yes, there's lots of people screaming charts.
Yeah.
In.
We have a nerdy
in
fandom.
Sid Meier's Colonization, which no one played, but I played because for some reason I got like a free copy of it at some point. Anyway, the frigate ship was like the most deadly ship you could make. It was pretty deadly. So a light frigate would probably be a slightly deadly, very
Mostly
very well gunned ship, small ship.
No one's
It's
getting my
mostly-
Princess Bride references today. That's 2. I've said 2 Princess Bride references today.
We have toe.
That's fine.
I've only seen the movie once, so
Oh,
Rob has toe.
at least I've seen it.
Toe on your
yeah.
family.
I remember
Toe
the first
on
time.
your ROUSs.
I remember the first time that came up, and I was like, "The what?" And I like hadn't seen it, and was like, "Oh, yeah."
okay.
So
Moving on.
that was years ago, obviously. Right.
Right. Foretelling.
Setting
Do
the
it.
bell to fold us.
I am upselling
Delta folders.
Delta folders.
Belta folda.
Delta folders. I say
Is this an official prediction, or you're just like answering the question?
Are they going to make it to the Corvette?
No.
Are
Wait,
they
no.
going to be captured by the boarders?
Right.
Are they going to take the Donager and ram it into the 6 ships?
Right. Can I
Six
get the question clarified? Because every time I try to answer, you ask me another question.
I'm just asking, like, do you think they're right now they're flying, jumping to the ship? Are they going to make it to the ship and get off the Donager? Are they going to be captured?
To the Corvette.
Are they gonna be-
To the Corvette.
Sorry, the Corvette. They're jumping to the Corvette.
So are they
There's
going
lots
to
of
get
ships, there's
to?
lots of ships.
Right. Okay. So the question is multi-parts. They're going to get to the Corvette. They're
And
going to
get
get in it. They're going to get out, and they're going to escape from the 6 little ships.
Yeah. Or
Okay.
are they going to get captured by the
Or
boarders?
what do you
Or
think is going
anything
to happen?
Right. Okay. I don't know at this stage, to be honest. I feel like every time I try to clarify what you want me to say in answer to, I feel like it changes.
I don't want you to say anything. I'm just asking if you want to. If you have a prediction on if we're going to succeed.
No, I do not want to give a prediction on this because I'm not. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
that's fair.
Let's move on.
That's fair.
Okay.
Oh, so can I real quick, like, do because I was the damage control officer on the last ship I was on in the Navy, and this chapter just like is one of my like chef's kiss because like if you get bombed, there are procedures to go through, and I just love like I'll just go through really quickly, and I kind of did it a little bit in my recap, but I was a little flippant. But the fact that like. I was gonna say Natalie. Naomi and Amos are so quick with that patching, and patching was one of my favorite classes that I took because it's just trying to like something that at least they're doing something that is negative pressurized, so the patch is going to immediately stick. In the military, you're trying to like patch a pipe that's exploding water out of you, and there are specific procedures for that. But then like all the wrapping and how to keep it tight and airtight, and the fact that each compartment had an emergency kit. And I think like in space, that's probably very important that each compartment individually, especially on a warship where you might get penetrated. Rob Q penetration.
Sorry. I could have.
I probably should have warned you. Yep. So in a warship where you might get penetrated, that's very important. And again, belters are the ones that are really hopping to. So the two people who were in the military, Alex and Holden, are just kind of like, what the fuck? So it kind of shows you, again, I know Amos is an Earther, but don't come at me. I count him as a belter. Said this earlier, I'll say it again. So, but then having things go to vacuums, that is not something that we have to deal with here in Earth gravity, but we do have to deal with is like active flooding. So like the compartmentalization, like all the doors just slammed shut, and I love that. It was just like they were talking about like the Holden's continually mentioned like, yes, this door slammed shut, yes, this door slammed shut, of course these doors slam shut, and like that just like was spooling in my mind. I'm like, oh, they were such a well-designed ship. The vacuum that was created, like the plastic air, like makeshift airlock, that's brilliant. And
cool.
The fact that it was like blowing in the wind, and Holden was concerned that the pressurization that they had within the compartment with the emergency air. So each compartment has to have its own emergency air supply. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. Every single compartment is going to have an emergency air supply. I can't even imagine the maintenance of that. Like that's where my brain is. Like that is so difficult to maintain.
It's a lot of shit.
I was thinking about that. I was reading it. I was like, damn.
Right.
Every little room.
Every single little room has to have at least like X amount of hours of emergency air supply. And I'm sure if they hadn't glued the emergency procedures, and Alex hypothetically should have known how to like contact people. Anyways, I took notes. I was like, Alex should have known some of this. But that wouldn't make for a good story. So I kind of forgive whatever. Also, whatever, Alex. And then that was mostly it. So but then there's like cool stuff about the power armor, and that gets into a completely different side of the story. And that is not here or now. I was talking about damage control. So
all right.
Thank you for letting me rant. It was just like nerdy things that I really
welcome
enjoyed
to
about
Leigh-A
this
Shed
story.
Talk.
Yeah. Oh, that's totally what we're gonna call them from now on. Shed Talks.
Yeah, Shed Talks, yeah. Welcome to my Shed Talk.
Except so much more smart.
Yes.
Because you are not Shed. You would totally know what to do in all those situations.
But that's like when Shed talks about the things that he knows. I'm sure he would just be able to go on and on and on about the things he knows. He's just not good in emergency situations.
I think he probably took a first aid like class, and that's how he became a doctor.
No, we don't know. We don't know. We
But
just
those-
know that
those
he
were just
really,
things I wanted to-
really needed to be a technician to stock. The thing that he wanted to do was stock med base.
Yeah.
Is what he likes in.
Yeah, but I just really wanted to point this out because of, like, I don't know that a lot of people who've read these books either have military experience or know people who have military experience, and like, so I'm gonna try not to do this a lot, but like the little nuances, just like I was like, they got it all right. It was so amazing. It was wonderful. I love this. So
that's good.
They seem to do very well with details in this book, so it's good to read.
I bet you spend a lot of time. Because I do this about the things that I'm like super experienced with. Like, it takes you out of the story if it's not right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's distracting. It's distracting if they get that thing wrong, because then it makes you doubt the legitimacy of the characters being actually in those roles and in those situations, because that's not how it is.
And when it comes to like spacey things, there's a lot of hand waving you can do, but like my dad was obsessed with Mel, you came here and just saying like how long did we geek out in the Air and Space Museum, just in that little part, like that little part of the Air and Space Museum that was all about the space race and having discussions about it. So like I mean, I grew up in Florida and we would go up to NASA at least 2 to 3 times a year and to go to launches and go to the Kennedy Space Center and we had astronauts coming to our school because again, it was Florida. And so like I learned, like I wanted to be an astronaut. I was so mad when my parents didn't send me to space camp because I really wanted to go to space camp. So I was like, as much as I could as a kid, learning about space. I really thought I wanted to be an astronaut for a long time. And so so in addition to my military experience, like being able to compound, like, oh, here's how you would do like all the Apollo 11. I was obsessed with Apollo 11 and all the emergency procedures that they did for a long time. And like if you lost vacuum, like they luckily not really had, there's been instances where they have like the space station, one of the earlier iterations of the International Space Station had a catastrophic like decompression at one point. But anyways, yeah, so I've nerded out on these things periodically. So when I see a book, and you guys are right, like when it takes you out if you know about these things. So like I want to point out I mostly want to focus on you guys and like all your theories and all that sort of fun stuff, but I do want to point out that these authors have got all of these details, like they have done their research. They're nerds like we're nerds. So anyways, Shed Talk ended officially. I already said Shed Talk ended, so Shed Talk re-ended.
Anyway, chapter 14. Yeah.
14.
Yes.
So these like I mean, do we think that these like skirmishes, not minor, I mean clearly not minor for those involved, but these things that keep happening that Miller keeps commenting on, do we think that those things are coincidental or like you know, like just like war casualties, or you think that like groups are purposefully be putting in by the puppet masters, by the Placentamon puppet masters, or the OPA evil dark side people, are they purposefully creating more and more and more conflict to like force us into this war situation that just seems to keep
Are you talking about the Jing Long? Are you talking about the guy who got stapled to the wall? Or
and yet another confusing Scapulo ship name, like these things that
Scipio.
I know.
Scipio Africanus.
Sippy cup. It's fine.
The sippy cup.
Not even close. It has
and the Xinglong,
CP,
right? The sippy cup and the Xinglong.
Xinglong, yeah.
Yeah, it's just these things keep happening, and it seems like I guess from, I don't know, I've never been involved directly in a war, but it seems like you would be more cautious when you knew the like everything was kind of up in the air and scary, and like you would You would over communicate, I guess. If you were flying through the air and you know that some other ship just got blown up for no reason, like you wouldn't go fly around dark in a war zone.
I mean, desperate people when you're 3 months late on your rent and the bank's got a lien on your ship. I mean, people make stupid decisions when they're that hard up, I suppose.
They may not, I mean, you'd think they'd hear the broadcast, but maybe they don't know what's going on. Like,
But I mean, clearly they didn't hear the hailing, or they didn't respond to the hailing, or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, all these things that keep happening seem, I don't know, they seem too coincidental to be.
Do you think that some of these things happen all the time in Belterland? Like, do you think like a lot of these things, like, I guess,
what do you mean these things?
Is the staking of the guy to the wall, or ships not responding and like now they're gone? Like, do you feel like that's just a challenge they have all the time, or do you feel like it's heightened from what's happening? I mean, obviously the Belter or the Martian on the wall probably heightened from what's happening, but as an example of how people deal with things, like, is it a standard process? If one person is mad at somebody, then the Belters just nail people to the wall? Like, you know, is this something that happens a lot?
I don't think so. I think it was emphasized in the previous chapters. They fucked with the air, they fucked with the water, and you just don't fuck with that stuff, right? So that makes it, that took it to a level that they like. I get the sense that Belters are usually really resourceful and creative in the sense that they're surviving in space, and just like we discussed earlier, right? You have to come up with, just like Naomi and Amos coming up with solutions to patch their ship. Like, that's what Belters are doing all the time, right? Like, and so creative solutions to being able to survive in space are kind of the norm, would be my guess. And so people, I would think that in the belt, fellow Belters are used to things not looking exactly correct, like not being like regimented, procedural, and XYZ checking all the boxes, because Belters are just trying to survive and they're doing, So I think that, like, probably as a people, they're a lot more agile and flexible and creative in the way that they approach flying through the space than these other more like regimented societies that are adjacent to them. And so, yeah, I guess I get the sense that Belters have been living with the shit of the Earthers and the Martians for so long, and they usually bend, and now they're done bending, and now they're
literally
breaking. Yeah, yeah, they're breaking.
So I might actually put Amisa's question in a different way. So all the lead up, so this ship going without a transponder, but so it describes why the Xinglong had been going without it. And Mel, you expressed a little bit of exasperation, like, why would we do this in an active war zone, or what we perceive as an active war zone? And so I'm going to apply Amisa's question. I'll re-ask it at the end of reading this. So, like, it starts with the Xinglong died stupid. There's a little bit of a description about the 5 or 6 family operation that scraped enough money together. Then when it happened, they'd been 3 payments behind, and their bank ... had put a lien on the ship, which common wisdom had it was why they had disabled their transponder. Just honest folks with a rust bucket to call their own, trying to keep flying. But then it gets down into the Scipio Africanus. It was a patrol, also on a fucking 2-year tour of the Bells, like, for the longest military, like the U.S. military operating procedure is 6 months, like 2 years. Holy shit, that sucks. They're on their way home. Didn't get. They both these ships were apparently headed to get water. The Scipio reached out to them, didn't get response. It's not clear exactly what happened, but what everybody can agree on is the Scipio opened their points defense cannons and turned the prospecting ship into a glowing slag. So do you think that the Xinglong was doing that deliberately, or do you really think that like ships who had these like multiple month or longer leans, so like they're still just trying to do their best, but like, hey, let's just not get flagged hypothetically by the banks or whoever might want to like impound our ship because maybe we've got enough whatever it is this time to make those payments, but we need to get to that point first. Do you really think that the Belters, knowing what you know about the Belters, are going to change their behavior in a war zone? I'm putting lots of air quotes here.
No, I think they're just going to do what they've always done. You know, but also,
it's a war zone. Like Mars might open up on them. Mars has opened up on other people.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I mean, the Belters are pretty stubborn.
I guess the self-preservationist in me and it would assume that the Belters would realize that, yeah, they would need to respond to a hail from a big old Martian ship with guns on it.
I don't know, maybe they're just like, we don't talk to Martians. I didn't really think too much about it. I was just like, this is more just setting up for the war. So I didn't think that deeply about like, why did they not answer that? Like, it felt like this was not so much important to the plot, but more like, here is the advancement of the build up to full, all out war type thing. You know, it was like starting a scene in a television show with a news reporter saying reports of something that's happening. So stuff is still happening in between. And then this is what our heroes are actually focusing on, our protagonists. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what it felt like to me. So I didn't really look at it and be like, this is pivotal to the next 10 chapters of the book or something, you know. Sure. I don't know, maybe that's just me.
No, and I'm just going to put I'm going to put in a little context with these days, and I'm going to try not to go too in depth with like some of the politics stuff. But like in Minnesota, if the federal agents are knocking on your door, you're going to answer the door, knowing that they may or may not have a warrant, and knowing that they may or may not just break it down and drag you out into the cold. So that's kind of where so that's where I kind of see the Belters, if with a real life analogy these days, and like going back and reading this book specifically, like what is happening in these early chapters and what's going on these days. I'm just like, wait, they wrote this in like 2011? Like, are you sure this is not a like dystopian manuscript for what's going to happen in 25, 26?
Is this an instruction manual and we just didn't know?
Are you time travelers? You know?
I thought it was really interesting that Miller says that the Xinglong is, or Xinglong is the poster of the Belter dream, is what he says.
Yeah.
Multifamily ship. They saved their money. They pooled it together. They bought a ship. Now they're doing whatever jobs they can to survive.
They pulled them up by their bootstraps.
What does that say about Miller? I mean, do you think that's really the Belter's dream? Is that Miller's dream? And if that's Miller's dream, is that what we would expect for Miller to be a dream? Like, that seems like an odd thing for him to say. I thought that was really interesting that he said that. Do we think that's what all Belters dream about, is getting a bunch of families in one ship and being out in the space instead of stuck on a station? Maybe.
I guess from my perspective, I thought of it like the ship is like a actual thing you can own, right? As opposed to living on all these stations. You can't own any part of the station. Somebody else owns the station.
Right.
You can only just rent part of the station, right? So none of that is yours.
You've got your hole.
You're just living in a hole, right? And the hole isn't even yours. You're just using it for some amount of time. Like I guess I compared it to.
Sorry, that just.
It was very like American dream home ownership equivalent is how it read to me. That like, because if you have your own ship, then you're the captain of your ship,
Right.
Right?
True.
Like you're in charge of that little piece of property. And
Yeah.
what happens on that little piece of property is really up to you, and not at the behest of the Earthers dictating to the Belters what can and cannot happen on their station that they should be in charge of, but they're not.
And so
actually
by
in charge
them getting blown up,
right?
is that a metaphor for Belters and their choices not mattering in this situation of the world as it is, or the solar system as it is?
Ugh.
You could almost equate them to the pioneers in like early to mid US history, as they're like slowly traveling out west, knowing that they're going into possible hostile territory, but wanting to escape the economic classism bullshit that's going on the East Coast. And, you know, like, yes, like we might have to go face the indigenous cultures at like, and even though we might go be stealing their land, but yeah, we might die, but it's worth it. I mean, I feel like that's kind of what
It definitely
again,
gave
to put
me-
another analogy.
Definitely gave me like, you know, Wild West prospecting, you know, go get a
Yes.
homestead somewhere. This is my land. I don't have to like pay anything to anybody.
Sift for gold.
There's no rates, there's no overheads other than what I choose to like spend money on. If I choose to have money, maybe I just like raise cattle and grow crops, and then I don't have to like even talk to my neighbors type vibes. It felt very much like that, which kind of fit with how the rest of the chapter went, where, you know, they're trying to solve crimes that are happening, and Musk turns around and goes, yeah, well, they left the station. You're just
It's
like, oh,
closed.
okay, sweet. The case is closed. You know, it's like the belt is full of teeny tiny little, like, this station is its own little, you know, it's a 1,000 countries spread across the belt.
Right.
You know, and every country is self-contained. Did it happen in here? Sweet, we care about it. Have they left? Sweet, we stop caring about it. Like, we care about what happened here and who's here right now. If you're not here right now, if you're not part, we don't care. That's not our responsibility. Each ship is an island, you know, like it's kind of each station.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like that, you know. They're very separatist is not the right word, but they are very. They're like we are belters, but we are also individuals, kind of like, you know, separate but together.
That's a
I don't know.
really good segue, because how that case closed, they say it a couple times, right? Like,
Yeah.
we just have to throw this over our shoulders and be like, whatever, we're done with it. I mean, but like you just said, Rob, it's like an analogy for everything. How would that feel as Earthers? We're all Earthers, right? Like, as being out there in space and never having closure, basically. Like, either you go out and you just disappear and nobody can ever find you, or you never get your you never get your case solved, and you never have the answers.
Or
You
your
never
country
get closure to
disappears
that.
you to
How does
another
that
country.
like change like the community and the humans and their, you know, how they feel about life? Like, how does that change from someone who lives on Earth versus someone who lives on Mars? You know, that home and then that non-closure of life. You could just get off and never see your kid again and really now. Like, you could just leave and no one may find you ever. You know, you could just die out there all the time.
I suppose I would. Now you're asking. I hadn't thought about it. But now you're asking me that question. I suppose they're probably more likely to be like laws are, to a degree, optional. You know, like have you fucked with the air? Have you fucked with the water? After that, it's like, how does it affect me, or is it on my ship? You know, it's kind of how it feels like. Except for people like Miller and Havey and that, where it's like, I actually want to be a cop and, you know, actually do things that make a difference.
There's no career planning. It's instant gratification.
Yeah, that's also a way to
What's
say
happening
it.
now is happening now.
It's a very survivalist mental.
Yeah, I was about to
for
ask you
sure,
before about that.
absolutely.
And how does that affect the community of Belters? Like, if we're going to say they're, you know, one, I know they're not, there are lots of different ones, but if they're like one of the main three groups of humans, like, how does that affect them moving forward in life, in the story? Like, how does that attitude of like now happen? You know, like, does that affect their decisions they make Are they going to partner with someone because they want it to be now? Do they have longevity skills to plan 5 years from now we want to be doing this, or are they just going to be like battle?
I don't know. I feel like they are plan ahead when it comes to where's my water and air coming from.
Mm-hmm. And outside Palpatine, let's just say he's
obviously outside Palpatine. Yes. The standard, your everyday belter type person. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. I think they kind of they probably have some kind of like, this is what I want to achieve, or this is where I'm going. But if it came to like an actual war, I don't know. I'm inclined to say they would be a little inexperienced compared to Earth and Mars. I don't know. Now, what do you think?
It makes me think a lot about like West Virginia, and like coal country, right? That's like for whatever reason the government it depends on you, but doesn't care about you enough to take care of you, right? And you're in this situation and you're stuck, like you can't leave, or if you do leave, you have to leave the way that the Xinglong did, like a whole bunch of people pulling their money together to get like one vehicle so that they can get out, right? And it makes me think about how you're absolutely right. I mean, it's like when you don't know what tomorrow brings, you live for today, right? You try and make today the best that you can for yourself and for your family, because you don't know what's happening the next day, right? And so you work hard, you play hard, but you can't really plan too far forward because you don't know when the coal mine's going to collapse, or you don't know when Black Lung's going to take another one of your friends, or you don't know if poverty is going to, cause the demise of yet another person that you care about, right? And so you like love really hard, but then you also have to let go really easily, right? In order to survive as a person, right? You have to be able to like move on more quickly. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops.
Yeah, maybe like keep that in your pocket for later. And I only say because we haven't met like Martians and Earthers yet, and how they think of belters. We kind of know a little bit, but like I think it's important to think about what they think about belters versus what belters really go through. And I think that's part of all humans, right? Ethnocentricity is really bad, and so like being able to think about that when they're talking about them and what they think about belters. Eventually, whenever we get to meet Martians and Earth. For now, we're just Holden and Miller.
Yeah, this is true. I really like that analogy you put there, Mel. Like I feel like it's definitely like a blend of those two things, like whole stuck in that poverty section, or like got to think about today because tomorrow might be dead, and also like that kind of Wild West, like there are rules but there also aren't rules, and there are lawmen but they come and go, and there are bandits but they come and go, and is what matters to us here in this town right now? Are you from this town? I don't care unless you're staying in the town. If you're leaving, then you don't matter. Yeah, so it's all those sorts of things, isn't it? That's kind of it's belter life is like that. So yeah,
interesting, because I feel like Miller is kind of like the cowboy, the romantic cowboy in this chapter. Like he talks about the belcher dream, and then he says these people were what was all about. He's
very Wyatt Earp. He's so Wyatt Earp.
Looks at the people in the subway, and he's like.
The girl who's getting felt up, like, okay, that was interesting.
And he's like, this is like normal life, and this is what it's about. Like people should be able to get felt up on the subway without fearing they're going to get blown up. And then he goes into this romantic fantasy, this whole thing, and then he's like, well, why couldn't I stop Mars from attacking Ceres? Why couldn't I? Why shouldn't I? Like it's a really interesting Miller.
Has Havey rubbed off on Miller being like, I just want to be a good cop?
Miller's always wanted to be a good cop.
He's always wanted to be a good cop.
Yeah, this is
he's
true.
really romantic in this chapter.
Yeah, he's just seeing a bigger picture where.
For sure.
Yeah, I don't know if it's idealistic. I actually think it's kind of a pessimistic bigger picture. Because he's like, he's like in conspiracy theory mode almost. So
Yeah, I guess idealistic about his role in it. Or his
Yes.
potential to change
yes,
it.
which
That's what I mean.
Shadid is telling him to back the fuck off. It's not your place. And he doesn't really know where to go with it. And even Anderson Dawes, which we haven't quite got to yet, is telling him to back off also, like, and
Yeah,
trying to
they
get
both-
the agreement to back off.
They're both
And
trying
he's
to
just
keep
like,
him down.
I'm going to email. Like, I know it's not email, but I'm just like, I like the typing motion. So I'm going to email Daddy and be like, hey, what's up?
He's not.
I'm investigating your daughters.
Yeah. When you think about him as an idealist, I mean, like, he really believes that he can affect change. He really believes that he can do something to make people's lives better and to make justice happen and to get people to
all of us
safety and all
activists need to take this on board.
And I liked him and Havy. I'm not sure how I feel about Octavia, but I liked him and Havy as a pair because they were just like, we're cops. Doesn't matter where we're from, we're just cops, and we just want to, do good things for people and such.
I find it interesting that he, having this fantastical view of life and how he wishes it could be, that he is also hired by an Earth corporation to be security, and not maybe with Anderson Dawes or Palpatine. Like, as a fantastical person and dreaming about big dreams, that's generally where you hook the people into the OPA or any kind of, like it's
no, he just wanted the job when he was younger, and then like he's grown a conscience and a.
You think Miller's gonna join up with OPA? Is he gonna switch sides?
Before you ask that, Spuds asks, do we think Miller is not a good cop? So is he a bad cop? Like,
no.
I think he's a good cop.
I mean, all cops are bad.
Well, but also, like, good could be defined as different things. Like, is he a good guy, or is he like good at his job? And those are two different definitions of is he a good cop?
I think he's good at the job. He's not good at the job Shadid thinks he should be doing, really, because he like does things. She's like, just do this much and then stop. That's enough. She's very belter about that, I suppose. Is he a good intention cop? Yes. I don't. But that previous discussion about him and Havy wasn't to be like Havy is a good cop and Miller's a shitty cop or a bad person, anything like that. I was more just like Havy is very much like, he is up there.
Do my job.
Wishful thinking, all those rose-colored glasses type things, and Miller's a much more realistic version of that, I suppose.
Okay.
So
Mel, you do have to wonder, like, is that what the OPA values too? Or this is about these people? We want to take ownership of the series because these are our people. So does Miller align with that, and will he align with it?
Yeah. Is he
going to turncoat from?
Is he getting allured by Anderson Dawes?
His smile, right? Like, as Oliver's ears asked, does he look better when he smiles, Anderson Dawes?
I mean, I think there's a certain bitterness that comes with being a belter that feels like you don't have any choice but to work for the man, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's working for the man. Even though he wants to do good while working for the man, he's still working for the man. And he clearly, you see that in, like, Shadid is the human personification of the man for him, right? And stopping him from being the good cop that he knows he can be,
especially in this moment.
Yeah, but like it's that character is a placeholder for all that is wrong with that relationship of corporate security, and he's chafing at that. He's chafing at those things, and not that I don't think he didn't chafe at that before, right? It's just It's
So
just getting bigger. It's getting bigger
Yeah.
now. Like
He's
all,
growing-
like it seems
growing
like
into it,
he's
isn't he?
growing beyond his very series focused existence. He's growing beyond being just satisfied with just being the savior of series or the good cop of series. He wants to be the good cop for the belt, the whole belt.
Yeah.
You know?
Back to the case closed
Ooh.
discussion. Do you feel like that's like he feels that even though Octavia and him have discussed that case is closed, they're off station, that Julie's case now is something he can close, that he can have closure on, that this is something he can control because he's not being told what to do. He's going against what both Dawes and Shadid said, right? Like he is closing it himself.
I mean, I took it every time they said that case closed as that he was saying that sarcastically. I didn't ever feel like he meant legitimately. It's like did a good job, stamped.
No, but they do mean case closed because they have no other choice. It's off station, right?
Right.
It's closed.
Frequently
because-
off station, but then also like sometimes they just solve it.
No longer in our jurisdiction, right?
Yeah. Jurisdiction's a good way to describe that, yeah. The jurisdiction is gone. We have no way to there's no extradition. That does not exist in the belt.
You just have to let that go.
Just have
It's
to
no
let
longer
that
my
slide.
problem. Pass
Yeah.
the buck to the next guy, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think he can do that with Julie's case because he sees it all connecting into everything that's going on. He sees that,
and he wants to save series.
Yeah.
Well, and he's like, he used that same language that he used earlier with his new partner, as he does with Dawes, talking about the ship going to Io, or allegedly to Io.
We dropped off all the riot equipment on the way. With a crew. With a crew.
Of the riot gear.
Yes.
Yes. I think Palpatine Johnson took that right here.
Yes. I like that. Yes. Palpatine Johnson did this.
Why are we focusing on the riot gear? Why do we care? Like that was done like 3 chapters ago. Do we care?
No.
Mel, is that an official prediction? You think
Yes.
Palpatine Johnson took the right here?
I also agree with that. Yes. Put me
Okay.
down for that prediction. too.
Palpatine took the riot gear.
I think the riot gear is not inconsequential. Okay?
Okay.
The riot gear is meant to be inconsequential because it didn't change. They still solved the situation in the immediate. Okay, they got by without the riot gear ish. You know, like the station didn't devolve into all-out war type thing. You know, they still have their jobs.
But they still had riots. They had days of riots. They were just kind of like off screen.
They were, but they weren't riots that then led to a takeover of series and then
True.
Miller and all that lot are then dead, out of a job, out the airlock, on their way to another station or whatever type thing. Like the series.
You think it's a red herring?
No. What I'm saying is it was, why bring up all our riot gear's been stolen and then not lose the riot situations because of the lack of riot gear. Why make a point of being get the riot gear? Oh no, it's all disappeared. Well, I guess you're stuck with snipers. And then it not matter anyway.
It's interesting though, because a few shows ago we talked about Palpatine Johnson and I understand Dawes, and if they were working together, and I think we discussed that they probably were working together somehow, but that he is now saying he didn't take the riot gear. So if Palpatine Johnson took the riot gear, is Dawes and him, is Dawes lying just to cover his ass because he doesn't want Miller to think about it? Are they working together? Are they not working together? Maybe they're not. Are there multiple Palpatines going on in this story?
I mean, there's certainly a level of he just wants him to forget about it because he's it's off the station, and I've given you a viable enough situation of where it went that you'll just be well, it's off the station.
And
so
I
it's not my
promise,
problem.
I promise, I'll tell you when I find her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Will he do that?
Drew it back to Julie type thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure whether Johnson, Palpatine, and Dawes are working together specifically, but there's something about the riot gear. It's been brought up twice in situations where it's just not.
It's weird.
made a difference. You know, so maybe oh, Palpatine Johnson is building up an army and he needed equipment. I don't know.
He needs riot gear, man.
You need riot gear, you know, like basic armaments, right? You know, I don't know, I'm making shit up.
I mean, both of you have agreed that like, and you both made official predictions that Palpatine Johnson has taken the riot gear. So,
yeah,
check.
So their notes have been taken.
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Mel, do you have anything to add?
Mm-mm.
No. All right. Next question.
I just wanted to bring up probably one of my favorite quotes so far yet in this book, is when Miller was talking about Octavia Muss, and he says exactly, if the woman still had a soul, it had been pressed thin enough to see through. Like, that was such a good quote. I was like, oh my God, like, it's just like, I can just feel that.
It's quite a burn.
It's good. I struggled with what they meant by that.
Yeah, what do you
What
think?
does that mean? I struggle with, like, because we didn't get to know her enough to, like, understand.
But
Like,
you also have to get the quotes like a little bit beforehand.
That's about like case closed areas.
I know. I mean,
she had worked. I
know.
Go on.
I'm just saying, like,
but I just want to say it for, if I can fucking find it, just for, I don't know,
context.
Yeah, the context of, was originally from Crimes Against Persons back in the day. Then she'd been on the Rape Squad. It's interesting that they call it the Rape Squad. Like, we're used to like SVU or like polite terminology. They call it the Rape Squad. And then she did several months with Crimes Against Children. And that leads up to the quote of, if she had a soul.
Well, I kind of think it just meant like she has done nothing but see the worst in everybody. So, you know, her soul has just been crushed by the evilness of mankind.
Mm-hmm.
You know? That's kind of the way I took it, whether that's how it was meant or not, you know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that could be the way that it was meant, but I guess it could also mean, I guess I want to think the best of people, so I don't want to immediately think that she's just so callous, or because to me, I would think that a person who, I would want to believe that a person who, you know, helps people who have been raped, help children who are victims, like, is doing that because they actually care about that, right? And
well, maybe that's why she left doing it, because she
stopping
got to the
worst
point
of the
where,
worst, right? And so you build up I guess a bit of the opposite, right? You build up a bit of a thick skin to be able to handle those things so that you could be effective at actually helping those people. But like the way that they described it kind of like flipped it on its head for me a little bit. And
maybe that's what she's actually done, but because it's a first person perspective, it's Miller's take on her building up a thick skin to,
I mean, it's got to
trauma.
Yeah, it's got to get to the point where you're like, I can't do this anymore. You know, this
sure,
is,
absolutely.
You know,
but that, to me, at least, that shows that you still have a soul, that there's still enough left of you that you realize that you have to stop, right? And so I guess I didn't quite understand, and I didn't feel like the chapter fleshed her out enough for me to like.
It did not
really
flesh her out at all.
Maybe we'll recap it next.
The fleshing out we got was her being like, "They're off the station, done. Next," you know, like who gives a shit? That was the entire out, you know.
I feel like what you're saying, Rob, is kind of why he says that, because of her history with the children of the rape squad, that she's seen, like she's had to push things through that she doesn't want to do. Like she did not stand up to Shadid or whoever her boss was, you know, and that they couldn't solve these because case closed, right? Like, again, this is this theme of things not getting solved. There's not enough resources to solve these things. People are shit. And she goes through this horrible, in these departments, through horrible crimes. And now she's just case closing everything because she can, right? Like, oh, they're off station. We don't need to worry about it. Fuck it. You know, like we're just going to be done with it. We're going to write our reports and we're going to knock things off the board. You know what I mean? Like, that's the motivation. I feel like if Miller, who maybe does things unconventionally towards what other people might do, I feel like if he was in that role, there might be different outcomes, right? And I think that's what he's acknowledging, like, because this is all about his viewpoint and fantastical vision of the Belters and all this stuff, this chapter. Like, I feel like he's saying, like, her skin is so thin because, like, she's been through it, but she can't. He doesn't know if she's going to come back at this point, I don't think, from her experience.
Yeah. Could be. Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was a really interesting line. I thought it was written really well.
It is interesting, yeah. But I that's when she's been fleshed out a bit.
Yeah,
if she gets,
let's know maybe next
where we're going.
Yeah, if she gets fleshed out, who knows? She might die next chapter for all we know.
Yeah.
Is she a prediction? Is she out there alive?
It's not a prediction. I'm not saying she's out there alone.
I mean,
but I will say,
let's just say she gets fleshed out, and then we can come back to the question.
I will say, I really like the fact that in the writers, they wrote what both Miller and Olivia were saying, and then they gave like essentially the subtitles of what they meant, and that happened multiple times. So like, we're saying these words, but here's what we really mean. So they already have an interesting shorthand that Miller and Havelock didn't have. So even though
they're both
like
being guarded against each other, whereas Havy and Miller would say the thing to each other, depending on who's around, obviously.
True.
They won't say the thing to each other. They'll say it's you know, it's like a game of politics between them.
And maybe Miller's just being judgy. I mean, he's the narrator kind of in this.
Yeah.
Maybe he's being judgy against her.
Miller be judgy? Don't know about that. So.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I don't know. What do you get? Okay, can we just skip to the end? Because I like.
Yeah.
Like.
No.
Do you think it was a good idea that he reached out to Daddy?
That's my last question for today.
No, actually, look,
I thought
this
that was
is
pretty stupid.
Is he older all of a sudden? What happened?
Miller reaching out to Daddy is Miller saying, "Screw you, I'm gonna do what I want."
Oh my god!
Wow.
Mars? Is that what that picture is?
Screw you, Mars, I'm doing what I want.
Nice, buds. 2 in a week.
That's amazing. That's so good.
Yeah, I kind of felt like you, Mel. I was like, this is kind of a role reversal for Miller, who just spent like 3 chapters, you know, criticizing Holden for his bullshit. And he's like, fuck it. I'm just going to do this, even though 2 people who could either fire me or kill me just told me not to do it. Like, what the fuck, Miller?
Well, I don't think Dawes is going to fire him.
No, Shadid will fire him, and
I know.
Dawes
I
might
was
kill him.
just joking that that Shadid would kill him.
Shadid might kill him. Who knows? We don't know.
I mean, Shadid might kill him. Like, she doesn't
Where's
like.
my
She's in
cinnamon
charge of
chocolate
homicide
milk?
investigations. She could rule it just like suicide.
Yeah.
Belter laws. I'm telling you.
So. Anyway, sorry, that image actually comes from the comment from I think is it Amos. You either clean or you drink and screw.
Yes,
So that's what the image. Yeah, this is you drink and screw. So, but also it kind of
while the Spud Monkey is cleaning.
Yeah, it kind of just felt funny in that moment because it did feel like a little bit like, well, screw your Shadid, screw your Dawes. I'm gonna carry on with this, and I'm gonna call Daddy anyway. So.
Yeah, what's gonna happen now?
I just think that was dumb, and he's just like putting himself. He's so subtle in some situations, but for some reason in this he decides to like throw all caution to the wind and just like reach out to Daddy. It's crazy.
I'm gonna blame this on a lack of Havy.
Huh.
And Mel's face right then was like, "Oh, now you're talking some bullshit, Rob." I don't know. Like, there's no Havy to. I don't know. Like, keep him. I think Havy was a good balance for him. Not that he's unbalanced with without Havy around, but there was something about their partnership that kind of kept him from just like doing the stupid thing.
I think he felt like he had to put on an air, kind of like, I have to be this model cop for Havy to get like assimilated into this environment. And at home, he's like, or in his hole, he's like, I'm gonna do what I want, you know, like, fuck it.
Honey Badger don't care.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Yeah. So the Havy's gone. So his last friend on series is out of there. So now, you know,
is he out of there though? I mean, he hasn't left yet, has he? Havy? We don't know.
It's been 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, we're assuming Octavia is.
He hasn't had a chance to die on the way.
Yeah,
But he will.
They cleaned Javi's desk twice to make sure to get the Earther stench off.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's gone.
He's been gone. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I just think it's.
I didn't get that. I guess. Sorry.
Real risky. Real risky.
It is quite risky. I suppose outlandish Miller moment is he's just like, I'm at the stage from like, fuck it, you know, Dawes is doing Dawes and Shadid's doing Shadid, and I can't get anything else off the station. I need another line of inquiry because Shadid won't give me shit. I can't talk to Holden. All right, unbeknownst to him, obviously Holden is going through his own chaos, and there's no conversation to be sent to him regardless. And Dawes is just like, look, here's the information proving that, you know, I can keep a deal. So stop fucking looking into Julie.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what I feel like telling you. You know, so he's like, okay, I got nothing left. All my avenues here have been explored, except talking to Danny.
So like, if a mafia boss came to your hole and gave you the information you asked for, and then said, "Now fuck off and stop doing,"
he ain't scared. Look, Dawes ain't no mafia boss, and Miller ain't scared of him. Dawes is some mid-level, thinks he's bigger.
Okay,
than
well,
he is.
either way, he's part of the OPA, which is like a mafia. Okay, so let's, like, would you not be scared? Like, you just totally disrespected this person who could be in an organization that kills you.
That's how we treated him from day one. As soon as Dawes turned up, he was like, "You're a shit detective. I'm not interested. Go away. Tell me the answer to this. Tell me the answer to that. You don't know the answer? Leave me." You know? Like,
you think that's going to bite him in the ass at some point?
I think everything's going to bite him in the ass at some point, but I think he's going to get away with it. I think Shadid's going to fire his ass and try and throw him at an airlock. I think, you know, Dawes is going to be real pissed off with him exploring things. Daddy's going to think he's got a new pawn to play with. And, you know, Miller's going to just run them all in circles and eventually solve the whole fucking thing with the help of Loudmouth Holden, obviously, you know, because these two have to meet at some point. So...
Yeah,
but no, he ain't scared of Dawes. He is not scared of Dawes. He don't give a shit.
I'll be right back.
Oh, you okay?
Yes, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I think, speaking of Dawes, that he gonna die. I feel like he's too convenient for Miller.
You're airlocking?
I'm airlocking Dawes because he's too convenient for Miller.
I like this.
Because he's promised Miller information about Julie, and we can't let Miller get information about Julie the easy way. Miller has to get all information about Julie the hard way. So Dawes has to be offed before he can give any like updates about Julie to Miller.
Okay.
I think he's going down.
Dawes is on the list.
Dawes, yes. I like this.
Light blinded fool. Like there are several people.
He just keeps walking in and advancing the plot, and you just can't keep doing that. You can't do that.
It's too much. It's just it gives you too much too quick. Yeah.
Too much too fast.
Yeah.
He's gonna come to rely on it, and then it's gonna shoot him in the ass.
I like that. that's when he has a concern about doors. Yes, he ain't scared of doors, but when doors is no longer just this drip of information for him, he's like, oh shit! Now I need to do some work. Yeah.
Maybe it'll make him leave series.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how far will he go?
Maybe
You think he'll
leave series.
leave series? Okay.
Wait,
Probably
Jaws is leaving series or Miller is leaving?
No,
Miller.
Miller.
Probably like half a step ahead of Shadid throwing him at the airlock.
Probably. Yeah, probably true.
Yes. So, yeah, I like that.
Really good chapters.
I like that a lot, Mel. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think I really have anything else from this chapter. I already spoke about the very much like separate, sort of yeah,
Thank
that.
you.
I think the most interesting thing from this chapter was when we talked earlier about like the homesteading, the Wild West, the poverty, coal mining, sort of the whole vibe. I feel like that's the most we've learned about the belt as a widest, as a collective. We've learned individual things and little ticks and quirks, but as a collective, like how does the belt operate? I think this one gave us the most so far.
Any last thoughts, Mel, before we wrap it up?
No, I've said my piece.
Let's wrap it up. All right.
Wrap it up. Who has the most? What is the most Aiel moment, or which character is the most Aiel? Either one.
Go, Mel. You can go first.
The LT. LT wins it.
Yep. LT.
Yeah. I was gonna that whole little squad, specifically the guy who stayed above the elevator shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was not made.
The other three, I mean, he obviously ended up dying. There's no way he didn't die on screen, so maybe he didn't.
Well, no, that was the
said
intention. Like he is like, and they said like, let's make a sacrifice worth it.
Yeah, the other three we saw die on page. He didn't, but he obviously did, and it was like the real like I will, hold the line here type. It was very angry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were no stone dogs. I'm telling you. Those were
definitely
those were
100% not.
underclockers for sure.
Yes. So yeah, that was definitely the right. Yeah, I have to pick the same moment.
Yeah.
So who is the token Wetlander then?
Miller for calling daddy.
Colin Daddy.
Colin Daddy.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, it's ballsy and it's crazy, but it's also like, dude, that's. I know you feel like you got nothing else to do, but that's the moment that's gonna get you in all the shit with everybody.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I agree.
Put you on the radar in the wrong way. I know it's your only choice, but yeah.
I would say Holden and Alex for their slow response in the just because somebody gets their head
in the high pressure.
Just because somebody gets their head blown off, like you were in zero.
It was
space.
low pressure, really.
You were both actively in militaries where you've trained for this situation, and like you should have quickly responded to this. So, but the belters, the two belters, again, calling him as a belter. Don't come at me. Calling him a belter.
I don't love that.
Adopted belter.
He's
those two are the ones that are immediately like out of their seatbelts or safety straps or whatever you want to call them, and like going and just being like, and Naomi has to turn to Holden and scream and wait till he gets his hearing back and be like, go to the emergency kit. Yeah. So Holden and Alex both have toe.
I look forward to seeing this scene in the show. Because based on the image we used for the graphic this week on the thumbnail, the scenes and the one that Leigh-A's put up of the headless shed, it's clearly a scene that we get to see in the show.
I think we've agreed that Miller and Holden and Alex have earned toe. Who's earned G in these two chapters?
Whoever gave the order to rescue our ridiculous heroes. Whoever decided to save them. Even though it's confusing to me why they decided to save them, I will give them G because I want them to survive. I want Naomi to survive. And Amos is growing on me, I have to admit.
Yeah, I like Amos. there's no one real stand-outish with G. There's little bits of G here and there, but all in chapter 13, not 14. There's definitely no G in chapter 14. So yeah,
I think
like
Miller's tenacity, like that he's just not going to be told what to do, doesn't have G.
not being stubborn doesn't get you G. Like
Yeah.
he's lying.
What about the 3 soldiers that stay back, knowing that they're going to die?
Yeah, LT, the 3 sort of Gomez and the others. Whoever sent them to rescue, our protagonists. Yes, but
lots of G for them. All of
Yeah.
them.
So Martian
sure.
G. It's a Martian G week.
It's a Martian G.
Yeah,
Martian G.
It's like one word, Martian G.
Martian
Not
G.
0 G. Martian.
No,
Not zero
Martian
G,
G.
Martian G.
Yes, exactly.
I
It's
would
not
like
quite
to
a
see-
0 G week. It's a Martian G week. So.
Naomi
14,
and
zero
Amos
G.
getting those holes glued shut.
Yeah.
That's really important. I think they have G for that. For their quick thinking.
They did make them survive, for sure.
Yeah.
It did, yes.
And
So
clever, quick thinking.
Overseer says G for Dawes because he kept his word. That's true. He could
okay.
have not given any information whatsoever.
It's true.
Yeah, I suppose maybe.
But he needed him, right?
Yeah,
He didn't.
They may
he
need each
still
other, we
needed
don't know.
Miller to drop
He-
the investigation.
exactly. He needs
Because
to.
he doesn't know that Shadid is telling Miller to drop the investigation.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Dawes doesn't know that. Dawes thinks
Also,
that,
Miller lied his fucking ass off. So that has nothing to do with what Dawes said, but
Yeah.
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 So, is that all our questions?
I think so, yeah.
Yes. All
We're
right.
done.
That's it. All right, folks. Remember, back next week, and we're doing chapters 15 and 16, which
That's what they called.
they're a Holden and a Dawes chapter. No, it's a Holden and a Miller chapter. Shockingly.
I was like, wait, no, it's not.
You got her,
Wait, there's
Rob.
Dawes
You
chapter? I
got
was like,
her.
I never remember a Dawes chapter
yeah.
in this book.
So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed. To all the Charlies out there, hopefully we've described images enough for you and such. Yes, don't forget Shed's still dead. Thank you, likewise.
Shed's dead, baby. Shed's dead.
Remember to put in the comments section below. You can answer the questions we get. Who has G? Who has Toe? What was the most ideal moment? If you disagree with us, I feel like there's slim pickings this week, but other weeks maybe you can disagree with what we pick or give alternatives. And then obviously put in the chat what type of cheese you think Taylor would be. And you could do bonus, you could do Taylor, and then you could do Maxim. So you can give us
bonus.
so you want to know the cheese and your reason and whether it's Taylor or
Two
Maxim.
different cheeses for sure.
Exactly.
How many cheeses do you have in your cheese box in your fridge right now? Do you think approximately?
Me?
Yes, all of you. Yes, you.
Cheese never lasts in my house.
7.
Yeah, cheese goes pretty fast. I have
It stays the
two.
same.
No,
I only have two types of cheese
At
currently.
least 7.
there's no chance that we would ever have 7 cheeses. Make
What
it into
did you
the
say? How many
fridge.
cheeses?
I mean, at Christmas, I think I had 7 or 8 cheeses in the house, but right now I've only got 2 types of cheddar, and that's it. So, but yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, folks. Remember, hit up the comment section, like the video, subscribe. If you are new here, and if you've turned up this week, you have missed all of our previous episodes about the expansion. You need to go back to the first one and listen. And we will see you next week, where, we'll be talking about Holden and Miller for a change.
Hey, yeah, what a difference.
I know, right? It's so funny. But I do love it. Malden, doing the Malden. Shout out again to Spuds for the artwork this week.
2.
So credit to him. Holden, sorry, I lost my head earlier. I feel much better now. Captain him and Shed mopping up his own blood while a ball of blood sits above his missing head. And then Amos is getting drunk and screw. Exactly, but also felt like in Miller time saying screw you everyone. So yeah. But until then, folks, as we like to say around here, may you always find love, water, and shade. Bye.
Bye.
Night all.
May you always find love, water, and shade.